the NFL on EA Sports. All eyes are on Jamar Chase. It was a nice line for him a week ago, reaching the century mark and scoring a touchdown.
Now from the host city of so many Pro Bowls, we're on the island of Oahu in the capital city of Honolulu, Hawaii. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the SnowHawks of Toronto taking on the Dragons of Honolulu. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And bringing them out is one of the most exciting players in the NFL every season. A former MVP, it's Lamar Jackson.
And for how good he is throwing the ball, it's his running that makes him so dangerous. He had a couple of touchdowns on the ground in last week's game, so we'll see what they dial up for him for this one.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Setting up the screen here to Edwards. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. I have to imagine many defensive coordinators had a sleepless night trying to game plan ways to slow down Lamar Jackson. What do you think is the most effective way to try to do it?
Well, you've got to be a little counterintuitive because normally you're sitting on the wide receiver one, aren't you? But with Lamar Jackson, I'd sit on the tight end. He loves to throw into the middle of the field, loves that position as his #1 target. Take that away and hope you have a corner who can stand up man-to-man against a speed guy on the perimeter.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That's a first down and then some, a 32-yard pickup.
Let's just call it as we just saw it right there, a breakdown defensively. Seems like no one went with the tight end, and no one really did. Had all sorts of space in the middle of the field. Yeah, everyone else was covered, but he was not. Big play results.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Lamar Jackson's throw complete there to Beckham. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be second down. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
There's a little bit of lightning talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
When you look at this defense, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago. And last week in that victory, they were pretty good. Probably a pretty easy film session, I would imagine.
And after a performance like that, so many people think you just roll into film, take your popcorn, kick back, and enjoy the show because they played well. I can just tell you from experience, after a win is when coaches come down on you harder because they want to emphasize all the mistakes that happened because you won. You're in a good mood. They want to bring you back to earth. Oftentimes you walk out of there and you ask your teammate, did we win last week?
So my assumption was wrong. I learned something. Well, if you've got the defense laying back, maybe that option works. But if you're coming hard on third down,
it doesn't work because you force the hand of the quarterback and the runner too quickly. And most of the time, unsuccessful.
Tucker's kick is good. And the opening drive of the game yields 3. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed him to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out, a man who has led his team to the conference championship game the last 2 seasons, winning it 2 years ago. Here's Joe Burrow.
And he was terrific in the opener, threw 3 touchdown passes, and make no mistake about it, he was eager to get right back out and do it again. So I think we'll see him try to test his secondary quite a bit as this game goes on.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
This is unbelievable.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And now off to the races, down the right side. Joe Mixon breaks through the contact. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15. A big play there. 66 yards. Yardage-wise, he's in the top handful of backs in the league so far this season. A great run there.
He's going to love that standing when it comes to contract time. But even more so, his team loves it because he gives them an identity and sets a tone.
Here we go. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I want to see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
They'll swing this complete out to Hill. Touchdown! Taysom Hill, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Dragons have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Evan McPherson now for the PAT. Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When he'd line up, go ahead and, oh, there's a fake, and now he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward, it's just not there.
That's so risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Well, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
Go.
They'll start out here with the option left. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Holding offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. This is Hill and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball is not free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And he's got his guys set up great now. 1st and goal, and the Pigskin at the 7-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Powerful running, and he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
Another try for Mixon. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Joe Mixon, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dragons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Evan McPherson for the extra point. And it's up and good to make the score 13-3. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Toronto's offense ready to take over. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to run.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Toronto in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
This pass complete. Jackson finding Andrews. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Out of the gun, they give to Edwards. busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They run once more with Edwards. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
My high school football coach was very fond of saying, you've got to meet force with force. And on a short yardage running play, that's what you're going to encounter. And how about them picking up the 1st down on that one?
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Flowers. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here's Jackson to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Jackson. That's caught. Touchdown. Mark Andrews. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the SnowHawks have cut it back within a score. What a great weapon. So often, such a big mismatch.
And there's no route he can't run. You name it, he's going to do it. And he's a matchup nightmare for the defense. No matter who they put on him, he's going to win the battle.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And he puts it through. They're within 3. It's 13 to 10. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And it's Mark Andrews who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From the end zone, here comes Williams. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Honolulu offense set to take over possession of the football. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays. They also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here. Taking it right down Broadway. Still going inside the 20. Touchdown! Jamar Chase, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dragons are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route, too.
On second down, Jackson. That one into the hands of Flowers. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Jackson on first down. And that is incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Second and 10. Here's Jackson again. Rolling to his right. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Throwing is Jackson. Steps away to his left. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
On third and short, not only did he get away from the rush and pick up a first down, he picked up a whole lot more than that. And how did he get it done? Evaded the rush, kept his poise, then how about him directing traffic as he moved downfield?
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. Under pressure, they got him again. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. On third down, here's Edwards. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with a two-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And this will be caught at the 30. 4 seconds left, and there's the timeout. In field goal range and a chance to tack on 3 before intermission. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And just a field goal separating the two sides. 10-7 is the score. It's Desmond Ridder with a touchdown pass there. From there, we head up to the Motor City to check in on the Lions at home at Ford Field. And at halftime, they trail the visiting Seahawks in that ball game. The Seahawks still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. The Bears needing to hold on and win this one on the road to avoid falling to 0-2. We saw a strong first half out of the quarterback, Joe Burrow. His 2 touchdown passes helped pave the way for his guys to take this lead into the intermission. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward. These 2 coaching staffs likely going through their final adjustments for the second half. One of these teams is going to emerge 2-0. But who will it be? To find out, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Williams to return. And able to get this out to the 25. And this offense ready to go to begin this third quarter.
Ready? Here we go. Stop.
First down. Here's Burrow. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. In motion right here, Boyd. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. A strong running. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs, even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
Now Burrow on first down. Got a man open. It's Chase. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
90 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break up the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Here we go, here we go.
Here's Burrow. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a first down. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Jamar Chase. His second touchdown of the game. His third on the year. And the Dragons take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Throw caught by Flowers. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Now Jackson on first down. Dumps it off to Edwards. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. From the gun, they go to Edwards. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Well, another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. On 3rd down, Jackson. But I think the ball's out. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Late in the game, he's certainly doing everything in his power to buy time for his guys to make a play. But in this case, he's surrounded, and all he has room to do is to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On second down, it's Edwards. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain in search of 8 yards on third down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. Now Jackson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Daxton Hill picks it off. There he goes, right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a fourth-quarter pick-6 here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner. And I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick-6, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Better be careful. They're looking to get another one.
And McPherson on for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick-6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick-6. And that one's going to come up a little short. It's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
From the gun, Jackson flushed out right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third. The offense on third down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Jackson being chased out. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Jamar Chase hoping to be at center stage yet again as the offense returns to the field. Last drive, the touchdown, 4 catches, really good. He was. They were not good on the other side trying to stop him. What do they need to do?
Well, this is where the entire staff has to get involved, because we always focus on the defensive coordinator. But he needs help from other people with their eyes and their expertise, and he needs to listen to them. And sometimes you just can't afford to wait on a drive and say, okay, let's get to the sidelines and start over. You need to find a way in the middle of that drive to start taking away what's hurting you.
Yeah, in-series adjustments, and how do you do that?
Well, what you do is you listen to what everyone else is telling you, what they're seeing, the patterns that are developing, and maybe you just start running extra bodies and take away that particular play.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Lost man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
McPherson now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. Toronto's offense ready to take over. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
First target, first catch, and a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. To throw is Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves. But they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
They set up the screen to Hill. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Now it's Jackson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Let's go do this. Ready?
To throw again is Jackson. This is caught, and he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28.
SnowHawks 17.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Honolulu offense making its return to the field now. Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late fourth quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's got a man complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Here we go.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Partner, they've been aggressive, airing it out all game long, and no better evidence than those last two snaps. They weren't going to beat this coverage, though. 2 plays in a row, and that one falls incomplete.
On 2nd down, here's Burrow. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. But Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.